Okay. So start with theory of mind. If our mind could be divided into, if our mind could be represented as a circle, this is how it would look. And there would be an imaginary line which would divide our conscious and unconscious mind. So as you can see, conscious mind is very small compared to unconscious mind. Now, when I talk about unconscious mind and subconscious mind, both are same. So both are used interchangeably. There is no difference between unconscious mind or subconscious mind. So anytime I say unconscious or subconscious, what I mean is the same. Okay. So conscious mind and unconscious mind. Now, how are they different? So our conscious mind is first 10%, very small compared to unconscious mind. The second thing, our conscious mind is like our logical mind. It is a logical part of our mind, which does all the thinking, reasoning, and decision making. So when I am speaking with you and you are listening, it is your logical mind, it is your thinking mind, which is listening to all those words and trying to interpret the meaning out of it. Now, what is unconscious mind? Unconscious mind is basically a storage device which saves information, right? Now, when you look at unconscious mind and say, okay, it's a storage, uh, it's a storage device. Like, then how is it so powerful? So, apart from saving the information which we create, which we have, those experiences which we have during our lifespan, apart from saving that, storing that information, our mind is also, unconscious mind is also imaginative. It is emotional. It is intuitive. All the intuitions and gut feelings that you get come from your unconscious mind, and it is creative, imaginative, creative, emotional, and intuitive. So, giving you example, if you can close your eyes for a minute, please close your eyes only for a minute, and please think about an elephant. Think about an elephant. Think about a monkey sitting on an elephant. So you can close your eyes and think about a monkey. Monkey sitting on an elephant. Monkey sitting on an elephant and enjoying an apple. See the color of the elephant changing to pink. So pink elephant, a monkey sitting on an elephant and eating an apple. Now you can open your eyes and tell me, how many of you were able to see? You can just raise your hand, say, okay, on the chat box. How many of you were able to see a pink elephant, a monkey sitting on an elephant and enjoying an apple? Anyone can type on the chat box. I could. John says, thank you. Okay. So definitely you all would have been able to see. 99.99% of us are able to see. Now, have you in reality ever seen an elephant, a monkey sitting on an elephant and that too eating an apple? So answer would be no. No one has seen. But we could all imagine this after closing our eyes. So that is the power of our imagination. So that power of imagination, and that is a very powerful tool or concept or character of our unconscious mind, which we can use to drive us ourselves, motivate ourselves. Second one is our mind is emotional. Unconscious mind is emotional. It saves all our emotions in our unconscious mind. However, we can feel that emotion consciously, but they are saved in unconscious mind. For example, you go for a movie. Thank you, Parul. Yeah. So Vinod says my voice is low. Others could validate. Now, okay, you go for a movie. While you watch a movie, you find something which is emotional, touching. You kind of, you kind of feel sad. Those emotions come in, and eventually, those emotions go so high that you feel like crying. Some of us actually feel those tears uncontrollably. We want to control it, but they start flowing on our cheeks. Now, why did we feel those emotions? We know that movie was not real. Then why did we feel that emotions? Why did we start crying? It is because those emotions are saved in our unconscious mind. Something in the movie touched it, triggered it, and those emotions came out. So this is how our unconscious mind and conscious mind is different. When we process any information, we will talk about that in uh, uh, during the program, how our mind works. So conscious mind is able to, when you see the information, conscious mind processes that information and saves it. Once the information is saved in unconscious mind, you cannot change it. You cannot change it consciously. Like a mobile phone. In mobile phone, like you receive a lot of information. So you can edit it, change the color, change whatever you want to do, and then save the information in your phone for future reference. So that information is saved for future references. So similarly, conscious mind, unconscious mind saves the information for future reference. Only difference in this case is you cannot consciously change the information at unconscious level which you have saved consciously. So you can say that the difference is skill and the state of mind. For example, we say that, you know what, a player, a cricketer like Virat Kohli is in good form, and then we say he is in bad form. So when his form is changing, actually what is happening? His skills don't change. It is his state of mind which changes. When a player X comes to face a player, bowler Y, he gets out. One could be a skill issue. The other could be mindset issue. He probably twice or thrice that bowler has deceived him and he got out. Now that thing is playing at the back of his mind. So he's not able to, he's worried, he's scared. So he's not in the right state of mind. So that is where uh, state of mind, which is controlled by unconscious mind, comes in. So skill is the conscious part and state of mind is the unconscious part. So any questions so far on this? Anything you would like to share, add? Anyone is free to do so. Unmute or use chat box about conscious and unconscious mind. Or you can just show me a thumbs up, say good, so I know that we are all on the same page and we can move forward. Thanks, Nandita. One or two more options. Thanks, Devalina. Thanks, Rishikesh. Okay, so great. Thank you very much for helping me out. Let's move and understand our unconscious mind. So, unconscious mind never sleeps. It works 24/7. It keeps on saving information. Our conscious mind goes to sleep in the night, but our unconscious mind doesn't sleep. Our unconscious mind is able to do multitasking. While I am talking, I am thinking. So, our conscious mind is able to do only one thing at a time. But my unconscious mind is doing a lot of things. It is digesting food, it is breathing, the heart is circulating. So, all the involuntary controls, involuntary responses, automatic movements, automatic responses are controlled by our unconscious mind. Okay. So, I pick up something and I don't know this is hot. And after a second, I feel it is hot. I drop. This was hot and I dropped. Happened automatically. Before I could realize that it was hot. Later I realized, oh, it was hot and I dropped. So that is how our unconscious automatic responses are controlled by our unconscious mind. Habits are controlled by our unconscious mind. So whatever habits we have built in, that controls our unconscious, that are saved in our unconscious mind. In fact, we all have a unique thinking pattern. We all have a unique way of thinking, and that thinking pattern is also controlled or saved in our unconscious mind. In fact, 96% of whatever we do every day, or 96% of whatever we do in our lives, is controlled by our unconscious mind. Isn't it huge? 96% of whatever we do is controlled by our unconscious mind. In fact, there are so many things we do behind which we feel there is a logic. I have thought over it, but actually it is an unconscious response. It is influenced by our unconscious mind. It is biased by our unconscious mind. Now, how does our unconscious mind work? Our senses have limited capacity. We receive information from the environment, but we cannot process the entire information. So, what does our mind do? Our conscious mind will process it and select only those information which is relevant. Rest of the information it will delete. So, to give you an example, there is a, say, imagine there is a situation. There is a young lady, single or divorced, on a scooty, two-wheeler, with her son sitting behind, and they are driving on a road. There is a BMW passing by almost at the same speed, and it is driven by a handsome man, probably a businessman, well dressed, and he is having his beautiful daughter sitting next to him, and she is doing something. He is uh, interacting with her mobile, so she may be chatting, watching videos, so she has headphone, and she's like oblivious of the whole world, and she's on her phone. There is a traffic police at the signal, so both come and stop. Now, what is lady doing? Lady is looking at the car and the handsome guy. What is the guy looking at? Boy looking. Boy is looking at that beautiful girl. He hardly notices that handsome guy. What is traffic police looking at? Traffic police is looking at, is not worried whether it is BMW or is. He is just looking at whether the person is wearing a seat belt, or the rider of the bike is wearing a helmet. What is a cycle? A person, man who is driving a cycle, riding a cycle, passes by. He is looking at that lady, but he is looking at that scooty and he is wishing that he had that two-wheeler. So, in the environment, there is the amount of information is huge. So, what is that girl wearing? How is she looking? What is the color of lipstick she is wearing? What is she wearing in her ears? So, there are a lot of things you are wearing. Information is coming from the environment. That man, what is he wearing? How is he looking? How is his hair? What is the color of his dress or her dress? Same boy, lady. There's huge amount of information. But when we go back, what will happen? After having a glimpse of that, signal goes, everybody starts, and only those things which we feel are relevant will be remembered by us. Rest will be processed by us at this stage, and rest will be deleted. So the boy doesn't know much about the man. Lady doesn't know much about the girl. She has not noticed it. Security, traffic police has noticed almost nothing. He was only noticing whether they're wearing a belt or a helmet. Cycle guy hardly noticed people. He only noticed the two-wheeler. So this is how at every moment, even though we feel that our senses are highly capable, but they have a very limited capacity to collect information from the environment. And even that information is so huge, so overwhelming for the conscious mind, because it is very small. So it will not process the entire thing. It will process only that information which it finds relevant. So anything that is relevant to us will be noticed, rest will be deleted. Out of this, information received, some saved in our unconscious mind, and that's it. That is why if we all are looking at the same situation, we all will have a different vision and different understanding of the same thing. So I see a situation, I see a painting, I see a thing, and everybody will have their own perception of that thing. Right. That is why one thing shown to 1,000 people will have 1,000 different perspectives because they notice that thing, they notice that picture, they notice that situation in their own way. Rest information will be deleted and everybody will notice in their own way. Now, unconscious mind comparatively has an unlimited potential of saving information. Nobody goes out of storage as far as saving the information is concerned, which is received by our conscious mind. Now, how does the process works? Okay, conscious mind processes the information, saves the information. After it is saved, you cannot change that information at conscious level. So I cannot consciously go and say, okay, you know what, this information is saved, let's delete it. No, it's not possible. Give you another example. How many of you have that fear of lizard? Anyone has fear of lizard? You can type I in the chat box if you have, or give me a thumbs up. Thanks, Sri Ram. Fear of lizard. You can type I if you have on the chat box, or just give me a thumbs up here, and I know that okay. Fear of lizard. Okay. Okay. Fear of snakes. Thanks, Rishikesh. So one thumbs up. How many of you have that fear of snakes? Type I in the chat box. So I know you are able to listen to me as well, and you are here in this session. Thanks, Rishikesh. Thanks, Sri Ram. No worries. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, great. Right. So we all have those fears, right? Fear of lizard, fear of snakes. Now, have you ever read any time that somebody died because of a lizard bite? Right. Nobody has heard. Right. Then why do we fear? Now, why do we fear is as a child, when you were staying with your parents, you were small, there was a lizard suddenly appeared in your house. Your mom started shouting and screaming. Your mom started shouting and screaming, asking your dad to come there and help her. She says, as long as that lizard is there in the kitchen, she will not go. She will not enter. And then what happens is, what happens is, eventually, your somehow your dad gets rid of that lizard and everything is fine now, and then everything settles. So from that experience surrounding, you learn that okay, lizard is something we need to fear. Whenever we see a lizard, there is an auto response of fear, though we have not experienced it. So that response to fear is there. Now, once that fear gets saved in your unconscious, you cannot consciously change that fear. Your auto response to lizard will be always a fear. Right. So once the information is saved in our unconscious mind, it is very difficult to change. So that's the point I'm driving. For example, what do you see here? What do you see in this slide?
Can you go back to the earlier ones? Like, Okay, okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you, Sudha.
Welcome. So, what do you see in this slide? 1 by 4 lines and circles, square bordered with line. Right. Now, if I ask, thank you very much for all those responses. Now, if I ask you whether there is really a square, what will be your answer? Do you really, is there really a
I feel it is
square?
real. Yes, it is a square.
But has anybody drawn a square there?
Now, the center points of the lines are connected together and kept at the same distance. So I feel like it is like a
Why do you
square.
feel when there is no square drawn? Why do you feel there is a square? Why do you see a square?
Because I perceive that it is some white color paper or something is kept on this four
Right,
half lemons.
right. Now, what happens is, how do you know it's a lemon slice? How do you know it's a lemon slice?
Because it's having some bifurcations of the things,
Right,
like each circle is divided into many
right,
parts.
right, right. So, can you
And
remember how the lemon looks? If you close your
yes,
eyes,
it's from my subconscious mind what is stored.
yeah,
I'm just comparing with this picture what
right,
is stored in my mind.
right. So now what has happened is when you have seen lemon slice of lemon before, right? First time when
Yes,
you were introduced, somebody told you, okay, this is lemon and this is slice of lemon. Now that information is saved in your mind.
yes,
So as soon as you see a slice of lemon, you recognize it because it has been saved.
of course.
Right. So because our conscious mind is very small and it has very limited capacity. So this saved information is important for our conscious mind because every time it sees a new thing, every time it sees a thing, it doesn't have to uh, find out what it is. You already know what it is because you have
Absolutely.
saved it. Right? It becomes easy for you. Like you make a document, say you make an appointment letter. Now, every time you appoint a new person, what you do, you just change the name, the designation, and those different those changes you make and print the document. Another candidate joins, change the name, change the designation, change the duration, reporting, and everything. Send. So you are using one document for multiple uses. That saved document. Similarly, the saved information is used again and again. Now, why do we see those squares? See that square? Because we have seen a square in the past. So now our mind, unconscious mind, sees two things together. Goes back. So when our conscious mind sees this image, it goes into unconscious mind to check if it already has an information. So it comes with a slice of lemon and it also comes with a square. And you start seeing a square which is not there. If you come across somebody who has never seen a square in his life, he will not be able to see a square. It is only because in past we have seen square, we know square, that is why. Yeah. Or if you go to any country where they don't eat lemon and you show it to them, they will not know what it is. Now, if you think about this slice, you can even think about the texture of the lemon slice, how it looks, how it feels. It could be 3D real. It comes in uh, in your mind automatically, like a metaverse. Okay. So another example, you can I'm sure you all can see a tiger, right, in that image.
Yes, because between both the
Yeah,
face of the
between
tiger,
those
between
two
both
trees. Yeah.
the two trees.
Yeah. Now, this is the creation of our unconscious mind. You remember our mind is creative, imaginative.
Yes,
We have seen a lion, a tiger before, and it's simple imposes. It is going to find something which is new because this makes it easier for our conscious mind. If I have some information already about it, it becomes easy for me to process. The effort on my conscious mind is less. Our conscious mind is a developing thing. What is the difference between a lion and a human being, a dog and a human being? The size of our conscious mind. Dogs will have a conscious mind, but it will be very tiny compared to human beings. Now, don't have ability to reason, think. It works on autopilot most of the time. Human beings don't work on the autopilot 96% of time or 95% of time. 5% of time they're thinking. Now, when we talk about positive and negative emotions, can you give me some examples of negative emotions? Positive, we all know. Let's talk about negative emotions. So, can you share some examples of negative emotions? You can unmute or you can use the chat box,
Anger,
whatever way. Anger, thank you. Thanks, Ananya, thanks. Anger,
stress,
frustration, thank you. Stress, anxiety, thank you. Jealousy, thank you. Depression, thank you. Sadness, thank you.
the emotions which are
And
related to our threats.
right, thank you. Thanks for that. So I have some of them. Okay, worry, fear, thanks. Now, if you look at them, are the negative emotions really negative? The question is, are these negative emotions? We talk about negative. Are they really negative?
It's not always negative. Some of the times our anger is fetching us some success, and
Right?
if we don't be angry with the person who owes some money to us, we will not be able to get the money. Sometimes
Thank you very
because of
much.
the anger, he is giving us
Yeah,
the money.
absolutely. Absolutely. The bang on. Thank you very much, John, for that. Anybody else would like to share why these negative emotions are? Do you think they are really negative? No. He has given an answer. So why they are not so? Why are they not negative actually?
For fear. If we don't have fear of anything, then we will be basically doing anything in the world.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rishikesh. So if we don't have fear, we will do anything and we will die. Right. So you'll say,
Sir,
okay, I have no fear. So I will walk on the street without watching signals. I will drive
sir,
without wearing helmet. I will drive without.
sir, I'm Ram Mohan here. I would like to say that if the emotion is giving us benefit in any way, it's a positive emotion. And if it is not giving benefit, or in place of it a loss of whatever type, it's a negative emotion.
But the list of negative emotions which we now listed and are on in your screen, they will always not be negative. No? So we have come across with examples from John and Rishikesh. They're saying these negative emotions are not negative. They are helpful.
I am trying to say that out of any activity, including emotion is also an activity. Ultimately, we see the cost benefit analysis of anything. What is the cost and what is the benefit? Benefit should definitely be more than cost or at least equal to cost. If not so, it is negative. No, no,
I don't know
this,
because see emotions you feel,
yeah,
you cannot control those emotions. They come automatically. So after you get angry, you can think about cost and benefit. You don't get angry. You don't do cost and benefit analysis and then get angry.
no, we don't do it. It takes shape. If we are angry, we feel the discomfort in the body.
Okay. Okay.
That is
Okay.
the.
I got it. I got it. Got your point. Thank you very much, Ram Mohan, for that. Okay. Okay. So let's understand why this. So like he had a point definitely that there is always a benefit attached to it, right? So with negative emotions are beneficial, and we gave examples for that. John gave example. Rishikesh gave example. Say guilt. Guilt will prevent us doing something which we should not do. I get angry. I hit myself, and then I realize, okay, this is a bad thing that I shouldn't be doing as a father. I get that guilt. Next time I get angry, I feel like hitting myself. My guilt will say, hold on, not the right thing to do. Shame, because I feel ashamed. I wear clothes. Otherwise, I would be sitting here without any clothes in front of me. Regret. I take a decision. It doesn't work out the way. I regret. I tell myself, I will not do this again. It will prevent me from doing same thing again and again. Committing suicide, it's like committing suicide. So all these emotions are actually positive emotions. Like John said, anger will help you get money. If you don't get angry, the guy will never give you money. There's an interesting story of Parshuram's father. I forgot his name. I've written an article on LinkedIn as well. You can go and check. So it talks about importance of negative emotions in our life. So all these emotions, whether positive or negative, are useful for us. That is why they are there. So that is point number one we have to remember. If you don't have fear, we will not follow safety. We will die. Emptiness means that we are low. Emptiness means that we are not doing right things. All these are signals that something is going wrong in our life. If they exceed, if they go beyond a certain, see, no, you never saw anybody who died of joy, died of happiness. Just like in people die of anxiety, fear, depression. What happens is why they are negative is when they exceed a level, then they are harmful. When you exceed in those emotions, go beyond that level, beyond the desired level. Anger, you got angry, you got your money back, you continue to get angry without any reason. Then there is a problem. Yeah, thank you very much, Parul. Jamdagni Rishi, you're right, is the name of Parshuram's father. So it's a very beautiful story. It's on LinkedIn, you can read it. So importance of negative emotion. So these are labeled as negative because if they go beyond a certain level, they will harm you. Till a certain level, they are useful. Too much of fear, you will not be able to move. People were paralyzed with fear. Some of us during COVID times, they had all those imaginations that you will die, you will die, you will die. So this is how emotions are. Negative emotions are necessary. Only thing is that they go beyond. They protect us, but if they go beyond, then there is a problem. Otherwise, negative emotions are necessary and they are important for our survival. So negative uh, emotions are like once you get into that negative mode, you attract more negativity, and it's like a downward spiral. You feel something negative, you go deeper and deeper. I try to help you. I have come across people whom we want to help. Okay, come for the session. They're not coming for the session. They're not attending because they go into further negativity. They think a lot of things. Okay, so I have fear. Now what will happen? Okay, what this man does something wrong. He reprograms my unconscious mind. I become something. So they will have any number of fears. And that will further keep on increasing like a spiral. They will go deeper. It will keep on increasing. It's like a drill hole. The deeper you go, deeper you go, the more it attracts. So negativity will attract negativity. Negative thinking will stop you from taking positive actions. Okay. So give you an example. I think we understood, so I will skip that example. So actually the example was when you eat an apple and so that apple is sprayed with some chemical which is harmful for our body and we eat that apple without washing, without cleaning, without taking the protection. We eat it. What happens? It goes inside our body. We feel like nausea, vomiting, we feel sick, we feel fever, and so on. Now imagine we don't have symptoms like vomiting, fever, nausea, vomiting, and all. What would happen to us? If that apple, after having that apple, I didn't feel those things, those symptoms, what would happen to my body? Anyone, you can unmute or you can use the chat box.
that will get digested because I don't have any problem with that one because I'm not aware that the apple is sprayed with something.
So what will happen? I'm sorry.
My body getting it digested.
Are you sure? So poison you will digest if your body doesn't have show symptoms that you had a poison. Will it be able
I
to
don't have any
digest it?
symptom.
So if you don't have a system, are you telling me that if there is no symptom, your body will be able to digest that poison? Think about it.
Hmm.
So
See, the
what will
thing which
happen
is,
if you have a poison and you don't have symptoms? What will happen?
if it is poison, yes, uh, I will be having some problems, either vomiting or nausea or blood vomit, something
And if
similar.
they don't have, if all these symptoms don't happen, then what will happen?
If there is no symptom, then there will be no breath also because it is poison.
So what the symptoms indicate is that you have had a poison, right?
Yes,
Those symptoms indicate that there is a poison, that you had a poison.
something inside which
There's
is
something
not
inside which is not
acceptable by
good
the
for
body.
your body,
Body.
which is not beneficial, acceptable to your body.
Yes.
So there are symptoms. Right? If you eat something which is not acceptable and you have no symptoms, then you are going to die.
Yes.
Those symptoms indicate that you have had something which is unacceptable to your
Yes.
body. These negative emotions, when they go high, means there is something wrong in your life, which you need to take care of. They are symptoms. So negative emotions are symptoms, right? These are symptoms. Too much fear is a symptom. Loneliness is a symptom that you need to have built more relationship. Right. So there are symptoms that, okay, there is something wrong in your life and you need to correct it.
Absolutely.
The way you are living your life, something is wrong in the way you are living. These are all symptoms. They are not the real cause. If I have an apple, poisonous apple, poison goes inside my body, and doctor says, okay, you have fever, have paracetamol. Will it cure? No. We cannot cure symptoms. We have to cure the root cause of those symptoms. So the focus should move on symptoms. Where does these problems come from? Right. Okay. So then now you connected to this slide number 1. We spoke about counseling. So fear, anxiety, and NLP comes in to help you in those areas. And how NLP comes, that I will tell you. Okay. Now, so let's come out of this too much of negative thinking and let's start positive side of the brain or positive side of the mind. When we talk about achieving extraordinary success, so people who have achieved extraordinary success, right? What works more for them? So why do they succeed? Is it because of logical thinking or is it because of imagination? What is more? What is more contributing? What contributes more? Imagination or logical thinking?
Imagination.
So why imagination? So you have to support your answer.
Yeah. Imagination leads to creativity. Creativity leads to coming out of this unconscious bias and other things. Because you are not using any logical reasoning or rational thoughts on the left side and analyzing those things, which conscious doesn't. So it leads you to success.
Thank you very much, Shriram, for sharing. Wonderful. Anyone would like to share what is more, what acts more powerful? What is more powerful? Is it imagination or is it logical thinking? Anyone? So don't worry if it is right or wrong, doesn't matter. Or
No, I
it is
do accept the
important.
point of Mr. Sriram, what he said. It is only
Right,
our imagination, our beliefs.
right. Thank you, John. A combination of both, agreed. So Murid says combination of both, agreed. But what has more role to play?
Logical thinking leads you to the logical conclusions, and they
Right,
are the set conclusions.
right,
It will remain, and when we look at it, logical conclusions and logical thinking, the entire process leads to something very well defined which exists.
right,
That's where you want to differ and want to create something more
right,
than that the state jacketed
right,
design. You
right.
need to be more creative imagination, and that's where the extraordinary things come.
Right. See, you can listen to your words, your own words carefully, right? So I will put that in YouTube and you can read them again. It will tell you a lot about the way you think. So when we communicate, when we say words, it tells you a lot about how we think. So our thinking pattern comes out. You have to be very careful while listening to people. Okay. So when you look at this slide, when you think logically, what will you achieve? Extraordinary or ordinary? What does logical thinking will lead you to? Ordinary or extraordinary?
Logical thinking will make us to think in an ordinary way. When
Right,
we go into imagination, it will go into something extraordinary. I can take the example of Newton. When we go and sit below a tree where the fruits are falling down, we'll just take it and eat it. Because we are given idea that if there is a fruit we can eat, which is eatable. And if my imagination, if I started thinking why it is falling down, then only I'll be finding out the root cause why it has fallen down. That's why he has found the Earth is having its gravitation.
right. So thank you very much for that nice example. So what you are saying is right. If I think logically, I will go towards ordinary success. To achieve extraordinary success, I have to
Yes.
think beyond
Beyond that
logical
one.
thinking.
Yes.
I have to go beyond and start thinking logically. So logical thinking, what will happen if I try to imagine larger than my capability? Okay. So so let's talk about one example, one beautiful example that came to my mind. We all go to McDonald's, we all seen McDonald's, right? So there is a joker on a bench sitting outside McDonald's. What does it represent? Anyone? Have you ever thought about why that joker? And it is also not in the on one side, one left, one right for children to play. It occupies some space, right, in between. It is almost a between one space, leaving a person space on left and right. Why is it? Why do they have that joker on that bench sitting? So the founder of McDonald, not the founder of the McDonald, sorry, the owner of McDonald was once sitting there on that bench, right, in the garden, and thinking about owning the largest chain of restaurant without a money in his pocket, without a penny in his pocket. So he was on that bench thinking, imagining that one day he will have one of the largest, he will have a largest chain of restaurants. Is what he imagined that time. So that is what it represents. I forgot the name of the person. There is again an interesting story. So the owner of the McDonald is not the founder of the McDonald. So this guy was selling mixers to the restaurants, and there were McDonald brothers who opened a restaurant, and he was selling their mixers there. So he liked the concept of a small restaurant, cozy, with limited items served. And then he thought about, he asked brothers, the McDonald brothers, that he would like to open their franchise. And he opened one restaurant. He was successful. So he opened another one, another one, another one. So he kept on opening McDonald's chain of restaurants. The owner was McDonald Brothers. And then later on, he thought about expansion. And when he started thinking about expansion, he went to McDonald Brothers and said, we want to expand. McDonald Brothers said, we are not interested. So he bought it from them, that time paying some $1 million, and then made billions out of it. So that's the story. So McDonald, owner of the McDonald was not the founder, but he had that day sitting on the bench, dreamed about opening a chain of restaurants across. Now across where it's all dotted. Okay. So the idea is to start thinking for extraordinary results. You have to start imagining things. And what will happen whenever you imagine something extraordinary, to do something extraordinary? For example, you have 1,000 rupees in your pocket and you're thinking about, I will be a multi-millionaire. Okay. So it doesn't sound good, right? So immediately your logical mind will come and tell you, what, are you crazy? You tell your dreams to anybody. Okay, I want to one day be Ambani and have this and that. So what your friends will say? You're crazy. You're mad. Something has gone wrong. You need to fix it. Same way, whenever we think, when we dream big, that is how our conscious mind will start acting, because it is the logical part. Because it will tell you why it is not possible. But all the extraordinary results which we have got in our lives, it is because of that power of imagination. The higher the power of imagination, right? The higher the power of imagination, the more you have that broader vision. You can see broad. I very recently saw a video. So very interesting is that there is a ostrich, right? Ostrich. And it is walking somewhere and suddenly it falls. And some glasses comes, that some 3D glasses gets fixed on it. In something which it has not seen before. And because it has not seen something which it has not seen before, it starts doing something which it has not done before. It starts flying and all. Okay. So that is an extreme example. Right. I will not say that, if you imagine you can fly, tomorrow you jump from your 5th floor and start flying. Right. Imagination. So how far can you think? 300 years before, somebody had told you humans can fly. You would have said crazy. If God had made humans to fly, they would have had wings. But somebody Wright brothers made that first flying machine. And then now we all can fly. If you have money in your pocket, we all can fly. If we have money in our pocket. So when you start imagining that power of imagination, it will lead, like you rightly said, creativity, innovation. There are a lot of things which will start doing which we were not doing before. You drive to your workplace nowadays. While you're driving by your car, you look around. You will not even notice the bikes on the street. What make, what model. And when you go home, unless you are a bike freak, okay. But when you go home, your son is growing up and he says, Father, Dad, I want a bike. I said, okay. He says, oh, I want this. Oh, wait, hold on. I will go and check. Now, while you're driving, now you're noticing those bikes which were there, but you didn't notice. You will see how guys are driving, what they are doing, how they are driving, what looks better, what doesn't look better. Yeah, of course. So this could also be the reason sales increase as people are drawn to Joker and all. But yeah, the basic concept is this. So the basic idea behind keeping that bench and a Joker is that a Joker can dream big. And when you dream big, see, if you can dream big, you can achieve you can achieve it. If you can't dream, how can you achieve? So I was having a session for one of the factory managers, leadership program. So I was talking about importance of imagination, power. So that was one of the topics in those leadership program. It was a long term leadership program, 6 days program, and so day one, I was telling the concept, and one participant was angry, around same age, my age, but angry stood up and she says, "What bullshit you are talking?" But he was so aggressive. मैं कुछ भी सोचूंगा तो हो जाएगा. मैं बोला हाँ हो जाएगा. बोला सोचो हाँ. अच्छा मैं आई आस्क्ड हिम कि आपको कितने पैसे चाहिए जिंदगी में. बोला 2 करोड़. बोला ठीक. तो अब मुझे ये बताओ 2 करोड़ आपके पास आएंगे तो आप करोगे क्या? तो इज नाउ स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग. हाँ 2 करोड़ आएंगे तो मैं करूंगा तो करूंगा तो क्या करूंगा. मैं बोला बोल बताओ ना क्या करूंगा. सो बिकॉज यू नेवर थॉट ऑफ इट, फॉर यू गेटिंग 2 करोड़ इज इम्पॉसिबल, है ना. सो दैट थॉट प्रोसेस इज नॉट देयर. जब आपने उस चीज के बारे में सोचा ही नहीं है तो आप अचीव कैसे करोगे? इफ यू नॉट सीन इट एज अ टारगेट, हाउ विल यू अचीव? So imagination for extraordinary results. So remember extraordinary results. For extraordinary results, you have to start thinking differently. Your vision has to broaden. You have to think beyond. You have to think more. You have to think far. You have to imagine things. So that power of imagination comes in. That is why for extraordinary success, it starts with imagination. See, you may imagine and you may not succeed. So that's other side of it. But you tried it because you thought about it. If you don't think about it, you will not try about it. You won't try. Thinking is try. If you think, then you can try. If you can imagine, you can put efforts. If you can't imagine, how can you put efforts? Sachin Tendulkar, 12 years, playing cricket, imagining that he would be part of a team someday and working hard. If he had told his friends that I will play for India one day, his friends would say, "Pagal hai kya?" There are lakhs of players who are trying to become a part of Indian team. In India, only 11 can become uh, a part of Indian team. Try become an engineer, become a doctor, do MBA. You will have thousands of opportunities. Here only you have 11 opportunities. Out of that, one will be wicket keeper, 4 will be bowlers. So from 140 crore, only 6 players are going to be batsmen. And you are trying to become a batsman. Out of 140 crore, only 1% batsman. How is it possible? Impossible. But he goes back. He thinks, okay. How many of you have seen that movie, Iqbal? Iqbal movie. Anyone has seen Iqbal? So, story of deaf and dumb who plays cricket. So there are certain
Yeah,
shots in that.
Shreyas Talpade. Shreyas Talpade in that.
Sorry?
Shreyas Talpade in that movie.
Yeah, the actor. Right.
Yeah, good movie.
So it's a wonderful movie. So you will see that he is lying on that hay, grass, hay, and then he's dreaming, he's thinking, okay, that he's going and he's bowling, and stadium is shouting, screaming, though he's deaf and dumb. So that's the power of imagination. You read you pick up any book. Success through positive mental attitude, power of subconscious mind, think and grow rich. You think about pick up any book on motivation. It will talk about power of imagination. It will talk about subconscious mind, knowing and unknowingly. Every book will somewhere touch upon it. You listen to any interviews by successful people. This is Pankaj Tripathi's video interviews you watch. He will say, "Yaar, something was driving me inside my subconscious mind. I was doing Nawazuddin Siddiqui. Akshay Kumar. You watch anybody's video interviews. Somewhere or the other, you will get that sense that, okay, this man was not driven by logic at that time. Something else was happening in his thought process. He may not be able to identify, or because he doesn't understand NLP and hypnosis. But yes, it will be a driving force somewhere. That imagination has huge power. It will drive you. Now today, athletes, so Olympics, gold medal, 6 billion people, only one gets a gold medal. How do you motivate yourself day after day, months after months, year after year, to train yourself to reach there, to earn that one medal? And there will be many failures. India won the World Cup after 17 years. 17 years, am I right? Or 19 years, I don't know. But so in this 19 years, India failed a number of times before reaching there. How do you motivate yourself after failing so many times? Failure is every day. Every moment, every second you get up, you start doing something, it doesn't work the way you want. How do you motivate yourself? Comes in power of imagination. In one of the sessions, somebody said, dumb mind. I said, don't ever tell yourself that you have a dumb mind. Somebody says, subconscious mind is a garbage. I said, don't ever say that. It's like telling your hand, because it cannot lift 50 kgs, your hand is useless. You're forgetting the other things which your hand is doing. Right? So use positive words. Learn to use positive language. Very important for facilitators, trainers. There are many trainers I see through, and they ask me for feedback. I said, everything was great. We were too negative about things. The way you were communicating, talking was too negative, doesn't go nicely with people. Okay, so coming back to the topic. So it is the power of imagination. It works other way around. You pick up 7 habits of highly effective people have delivered a number of programs. Second habit itself is about mental creation. First, physical creation. Second, create the kind of future you want to create in your mind first, and then it becomes a reality. So that's what Dr. Stephen Covey talks about. So any research you pick up, they will talk about this mental creation, imagination, power of subconscious mind will come in. Great, Rishikesh. So a lot of movies are very recently you saw 12th fail. How the guy is motivated to pass that exam, right? He's going through all the hardship. What keeps him motivated? So that imagination, that future, that thing he has in his imagination that, okay, I will reach that. That goal is there. So that is how the power of imagination. The biggest battleground in this world is human mind. Every day we are fighting. I will give you another example. So I started using, as far as my knowledge is, I had actually created this example. Then I saw a lot of reels also coming in. So if you go on Google and search for 10 benefits of eggs, you will find articles which will tell you 10 benefits of eggs. You search harmful effects of having egg every day, you will get articles on harmful effects of egg every day. It is not about whether egg is harmful or egg is beneficial. It is about what you are searching for. Life is like that. If you are searching for reasons why I will not be there, you will get any number of reasons. When you start searching for reasons, for ways of reaching there, you will find ways of reaching there. To reach those ways, to find those ways and reach there, somewhere you need to believe that you will reach there. Like John said, belief is the word he used. So you have to start more the logical so I'm not saying anything is less or anything more. Of course, I cannot sit here on the bed and imagine and then become rich in one day. I cannot become a world-class trainer by sleeping on my bed. I have to go out, conduct trainings, practice. But unless you have that power of imagination, I create it in my mind, it will be very difficult for me to get up every day and drive myself to that goal every day. So I have to see that larger purpose. And that larger purpose should not be only me enjoying the benefit. If I use, if I work for the society, saying that, okay, when I become rich, I have money, I will have a car, I will have a house, I will have a temple, I will also have, I will go and fund orphanage, I will fund old age homes, I will make people happy. So that will give you more, what you call, more enthusiasm, more energy, because not only, now you're not working only to, for your benefit, you're working for the community benefit. Humans are social beings. Humans survived the jungles, hostile environment because of their negative thinking and because they live together. So that is our innate nature to live together. We cannot live alone. We cannot live in isolation. Extrovert, you lock him in a room for 30 days, he will die. His need to social interaction is less. Doesn't mean he doesn't need any social interaction. We all need. Our degree of need of social interaction changes. We are driven by larger cause. There are people in the world. Marie Curie, who was working on radioactive elements, she died of cancer, but she worked on it for the larger human cause. You look at the inventors in the world, most of these inventors never made money. The one who started WWW, World Wide Web, he gave it to the world free. He's alive, he's saying, why this Bill Gates is charging so much of money? It should go free for people. Windows should be free for people, right? Look at a person who invented mobile phone. Do you think he used mobile phone the way you and I are doing? Did he make money out of it? No. Charles Babbage, who made computers, did he become a billionaire? No. So all these inventors, they work for the larger cause. They want to do something for the society that drives them.
So yes, sir, even the polio vaccine.
Yeah, polio vaccine. There are n number of examples. See, we even thank you very much for that, Rishikesh. So there, you pick up any inventor, uh, discoverer, you take him in, anyone, you will see that rarely they make money in their lifetime. Many of them make money after make name after they die with their work. So their work is recognized. They are so far ahead that their work is recognized after their death, and then others reap the benefit. So if you look at story of Facebook, Facebook was not designed by Mark Zuckerberg. It was stolen from his friends, and they made money again doing something else. So that's a different story. There was a lawsuit, and Mark Zuckerberg had to pay a huge amount to his friends who actually invented Facebook. Bill Gates didn't make Windows. His father was working in a company where the concept of window, somebody brought the concept of Windows. His company rejected it, but he got that concept and gave it to his son. He got that man and told him, okay, I'll give it to my son. So real inventors rarely make money out of it. Okay. So it is about, now what happens? Our unconscious mind is designed to think 4 times more negative than positive. That is the reason we will have more, because it is our unconscious mind is working for our benefit. It is working for our survival. Survival is key for unconscious. Kuch bhi ho jaye, whatever happens, I should live. That's the motive of our unconscious mind. That is why it is making you cautious, careful. Whenever an information is stored in an unconscious mind, it is stored for future reference, so that it is easy for you. For example, I meet somebody from Kenya and I get cheated. So my unconscious will save the information as people from Kenya are cheaters, you need to be careful. Another person you meet from Kenya, you will be careful, you will be cautious, so that you don't lose your money. Your life is not at stake, right? So unconscious mind is always working for our benefit. Conscious mind is dependent on our unconscious for information. Now the question is, how do I change the information in unconscious mind? So all those negativity, all those limitations which I have, as soon as I think big, something tells me inside, you're impossible, you're crazy, don't do it. How do you change the information at unconscious level if you cannot do it consciously? So the idea is you bypass the unconscious mind. Sorry, you bypass the conscious mind, connect the unconscious and build that in your unconscious mind to make it possible. So if you are interested, go back and read about Dr. Milton Erickson. So he is a very influential person across the globe, and he's the one who say father of hypnosis, modern hypnosis. Milton Erickson. It's very easy. You will find a lot of information on Wikipedia. There is more than a page. So what does NLP do? NLP will help you remove negativity, increase positivity, and help you achieve success. All these things can be done through NLP. If you look at today modern world, stress is the highest today in the modern world. COVID, now we have moved out of COVID now. News channels, social media, movies.
ପ୍ରିପେୟାର ହେଇକି ପଳେଇ ଆସିବ 3ଟା ବେଳୁ ବାହାରିକି ପଳେଇ ଆସ ଖାଇକି 5ଟା 6ଟା
So a lot of negativity is floated around. Value system. Now, I go frequently to garden and exercise. So I like an open environment, not the one to go on gym. So government has made, build those gardens and then gym equipment. So I go there and use it. So there is a lady who comes in there with her cats, or with her cat. And it's a very nice, beautiful cat. So when sometimes we have a conversation, she says, you know what, ये दुनिया में कितना खराब हो रहा है देखो, लोग कहीं आए दिन यहाँ किसी का खून हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है. I told her, see, there are 140 crore people in this world. 140 crore in India, sorry. 6 billion in India, world. 140 crore. So there will be somebody who will rape somebody, murder somebody. Something is going to happen. I'm not saying it should happen, but it will happen. To reduce them, to control them, there is a system. Doesn't mean everybody is a cheater, murderer or killer. आप क्या बोल रहे हो? देखो ना, आप न्यूज नहीं देखते क्या? I don't see news. So that is why you don't know. I said I don't want to know, because they are spreading negativity. Everybody is feeling, you know what? Yeah, everywhere there are murders happening, rapes happening, this happening, that happening. I'm not saying it is not happening. I'm not saying it should happen, but I'm saying that look at 140 crore people. And there will be some incidents like this. Humans are not evolved completely. There will be some idiots who will keep on doing all these things. But that doesn't mean the entire world is bad or the entire world has changed. The world is still good. There are a lot of good things which are happening in the world. Think about those things. Think about people helping each other every day. See, NGOs helping so many every day. Old age home, orphanages taking care of so many every day. So all is not bad. But that bombardment of negativity always happening. Social media is happening. Negativity flowing. Values are deteriorating every day. When you have junk food, what happens to your body? When you have junk food, what happens to your body? Anyone? Easy, right? Simple. What happens? So we are almost 90 minutes. Just want to ensure that we all are listening. Junk food, if you have, what happens? What happens to you? Sorry?
You will get fat.
You will get fat. What will be the result? You will be sick.
It is not only just we are getting back fat. That is based upon the body constituency and the workouts which you are going to do is give us the result.
So if you have junk food every day, it is bad for your body.
Of course.
However, exercise, everything you do, but still it is bad for your body. It will
just for survival, if you're having it just for survival, it is fine for once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while. Okay. So so I'm saying again, I'm repeating, when you have junk food every day, what happens? It is bad for your body. You will have diseases, you will have problems. What happens when you have junk values? What happens to your body and mind? Junk values. So like junk food, junk value will impact your mental health
Absolutely.
and your body. What we are doing is looking around. TV, movies, web series are building those junk value. Value system is deteriorating. Relationships are breaking down. In India, 50, 60 years before, you would hardly find anybody suffering from anxiety, depression and all, because we used to live in a socially strong, uh, socially strong network. Right. You even today you go to villages. If you're from a village, you will know. Today, every morning, farmers will come out of their house together. They will go walk together, and then till the distance they can walk together, they will walk, and then they will separate towards their own individual land. They will work. They will come back on the same spot. Go back home. For 5 hours rest. If there need be again evening, all will go. All will come back. And then they will sit there, talk to each other, feel connected. One person has a celebration at home, he will invite the entire village.
Yes.
One person
Whole
has
village
a
will be
death in his
celebrating
family,
it.
everybody will come together and will grieve for it. People will hold each other's hand, support each other. So that is how our culture was. 7 brothers living together, supporting each other.
Yes.
If a eldest brother goes to work, youngest brother never worked because there were other brothers to work. He will earn, he will bring money. If he brings fruits, he will bring for all 20 children, 30 children in the house. He will not know who is whose child. This is whether my child or my brother's child. They all are living so well together. They're all playing together. I have seen people who have better connections with their cousins than their own brothers because they live together.
Yes.
And that kind of social system, support system which was there, that made people feel connected, happy. Now what has happened? All these connections have broken down. We have started living in equal family. We are all looking for money, wealth. Everybody is fighting. Father died. I want more. I want more. So they are not valuing the relationship of brother, sister. We call these English people, they call cousins. For them, they are not cousins. They are our brothers. Mahabharata was a fight between brothers, not between cousin brothers. If today Britishers would read that and say, hey, it was a war between cousin, not a big deal. But for us, it was a big deal. Brothers fighting with each other, cousins. बड़े भाई का बेटे छोटे भाई के बेटे से लड़ रहे हैं पैसे के लिए, जगह के लिए, right? So that kind of culture we never had. This broken down of this culture, values, ideals, role models, ideals. We are lacking them. It is not that they are not there, but our highlight is on those people who are materialistic. So we will look at Shah Rukh Khan, we will look at Mukesh Ambani, Anant Ambani. We are not looking at those who are actually should be our role model, who have been running NGOs, doing a lot of good work for the society, inventors, scientists. Where are they? Where are they gone? They are there, but there is no media attention. There is no highlight. That is why we are fed with this junk values. Junk values will lead to junk food, selling of junk things. People are more interested in applying what you call pineapple on their face rather than eating it every day and remaining healthy. So that is how stress is useful. What NLP can do is improve your self-awareness, build that behavior system, create that self-awareness, positive attitude, help you deal with that stress, help with remaining healthy every day, keeping yourself healthy, help you deal with past painful memories, psychosomatic diseases, sleep disorders, fears we already spoke about. Help you succeed, find solutions, become more creative, look for opportunities, see purpose of our life, communicate effectively with self, others, and nature. So when we talk about communication, people believe that, oh, communication is talking nicely with two people. No, communication has 3 parts. How to communicate with self, how to communicate with others, and how to communicate with universe. So I have designed a program called holistic communication, and I do it whenever there is a need of communication skills in any corporate. Achieve success, wealth, health, fame, money, happiness. All this can be achieved by proper uh, what you call proper, when you are able to build right state of mind, which is very important for performance. Thanks, John, for that. So what we are doing is we have a NLP course. I have not decided upon the dates. So this is a 5-day course which we do online every Sunday. It is from 9 to 5 for 5 days. Okay. And the idea is that you learn the theory of our mind more in detail, and also learn some techniques which you will help it on using others and self, so that you can build that right state of mind all the time. If you are a coach, if you are a teacher, if you are a trainer, facilitator, so this technique will help you in enhancing your communication, will enhance in your understanding about how mind works, understand about communication, interacting with people, building that right state of mind when you go in a classroom and deliver programs. So all those things you will be able to use it on self, use it on others, and use it on group as well. So it will have a lot of benefits, deeper and wider applications of NLP. Being a soft skill, behavioral and leadership trainer, outbound training, certified assessor, I can tell you a lot of applications about NLP because I've used it in a lot of areas. Many times you learn NLP from a NLP practitioner. He is good in NLP, but he doesn't know where all it can be applied well. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying some of them. That is why many of us have certified NLP certificate. You look at a trainer, everybody will have a certification. Ask him when did he use last NLP. He says no idea. He doesn't remember because he doesn't know the application. So through these sessions, you will also learn how to apply. So it is good for managers, leaders, corporate employees, trainers, facilitators, very good for motivation, sports person, sales and marketing people will know right way of communicating with their team, with their clients and customers. Therapists can use it, and entrepreneurs, employed can use it. Healers can use it. Emotional wellness and mental health, of course. Dietitians and yoga, gym practitioners can use it because it's very difficult to for these people who join in their gym or yoga class or diet regime to maintain that, because there's a lot of mental effort required. So NLP can help you sustain that for a longer period of time. Okay. So this is what do you get in this NLP session is handouts, recordings of all the demos which we do, and you also get to practice. So the format is where then we, after learning the concept and learning the technique, we go in the breakout room and start practicing it with each other. So you learn online. When you learn the techniques online, it is easy for you to go and do it physically also. When you learn it physically, you don't know how to use it online. But in online, you also learn how to use it physically. On when it is one-to-one sessions as well. So this NLP, after starting using it in online mode, I got to interact with people across the globe for these sessions, of course. So these are the topics which I am going to cover in this 5-day. You can, if you are interested, or when you are interested, you can share, and I will share the document which has all this information. Okay. I can assure you that so far, whenever I use a hypnosis technique, NLP technique, the success rate is 100%. Now, when I say success rate is 100%, means you will be able to take everyone into deeper state of relaxation. So at least people will feel the deeper state of relaxation, everybody. Many a time in NLP, what happens is you try to apply on NLP, it doesn't work on some, it works on some. In here, we will also learn how to customize your NLP so that you are able to succeed with everyone. So we use Dr. Milton Erickson's model, which is on conversation. So you will learn how to converse and take a person in deeper state of relaxation. Plus, we can do regular practice sessions also. I try to do a lot of practice sessions as well, even today. People, when the participants have time, they do joining. And apart of that, we also have a leadership development program. It can be customized specific to the organization's need. So this is about today's session. You can message if you need any more information. I will edit the recording and share it on YouTube as soon as I get time. I will do that. And thank you very much for being here. Be a part of our WhatsApp group. You can join my LinkedIn, become a LinkedIn Connect and receive my articles, short articles. It will surely enhance your knowledge about a lot of things. And we can always discuss and uh, help each other in a lot of ways. Anybody has any corporate requirement for leaders, for trainings, especially in soft skill, behavioral and leadership, you are free to connect with me. Anything I can do for you at personal level, you are free to connect with me. My team will share my number with you. And it is all there on my LinkedIn profile as well. You can go and pick up my email ID and mobile number from there. So thank you very much for being a session. It is already 42 and you all have been here patiently. I appreciate your contribution, patience and being supporting me through this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you and have a wonderful
Thank you.
weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
sir. It was
Have a
very
great day.
informative, helpful.
Thanks. 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 Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jay Kumar.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks. Bye and have a wonderful evening. This is Sanjay Goyal signing off. Thanks.